Good evening, Wellness fam. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well. Real excited about this topic today because it's near and dear to my heart. I discovered the power of affirmations, I'd probably say in the past year. So I'm excited to have someone here with knowledge speak on it. So yes, how's everybody's days going? You're halfway through the week, so you're either enjoying a full week off, depending on if your company allowed it, or you took PTO, or you're in your second day of work, which it also means 2 more days until another long weekend. So that is hopeful. I think we have Stephanie or Dr. Stephanie in the house, so let's see. Yes. Hey everybody. Let's see if I can invite. There she is. How you doing, Dr. Stephanie?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. How is your day going?
It's been beautiful. How about yours?
It's been good. It's been good.
I'm glad to
Excited
hear.
for the upcoming new year.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. So I know we have a schedule to keep. So we're
Yes.
just gonna get started, and more people will come in as we go.
Oh, yeah. And people can watch it later as well. Like whoever's not here, they can see it later. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I love the replay feature.
totally. So helpful.
Cool. So I'm just gonna talk about a little brief overview of how tonight's gonna go, and then we'll get started.
Awesome.
So, welcome everybody. Today, what we're just gonna do is we're gonna hear how Dr. Stephanie got into affirmations. We're just gonna have a nice conversation, but questions are always welcome. So I have some questions from the Wellness fam from earlier, but there's also a little comment box and there's a question box. So feel free to put in any one of those. I'll be keeping my eyes on them.
Awesome.
And we have Dr. Stephanie until about 8:30, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And as a wellness coach, we respect boundaries. So if you have questions, don't hesitate. We're here for you guys. Okay, Dr. Stephanie. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Well, my name is, like you said, Dr. Stephanie Akumani, and I'm the founder and CEO of Bloom Wellness Lab. I love everything that there is to think about wellness, but more recently, I've loved to really understand the intersection of how the brain works, how the body works, and really to understand how to bring our minds, bodies, and spirits into more union, which is the meaning of yoga, right? That union. Because I realized through my own meditative journey that I set to meditate one time and I'm like, wait, I'm having thoughts that I didn't ask for. Where did those come from? Who's that? I didn't ask for those thoughts, right? And I never knew, right? You take a test as a child or a teenager, and you have something that you can't really put your finger on, which is like self-doubt, like, oh, I'm going to fail that test. Where you might not even have evidence that you're going to fail it, and you don't know that that thought is a subconscious thought. We're never taught these things. So I teach, and I love one of your questions. And I'll finalize with a statement. It's been an honor to teach my daughter and to teach children and teenagers and adults. That's what I love about this work. It's for everybody, and it can be fun to understand. Really, and that's what the brand's about, like self-discovery. That life is the lab. That's why we call it Bloom Wellness Lab. Like, who are you blooming into? And you get to choose who that is, and you get to rebirth that person over and over and over again as much as you want. So that's what we're all about.
Love that.
Thanks.
And you literally practice what you preach. So even when we just talk, I just really love that you keep your family separate from your work. But the thing is, it's a passion for both of them.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Thank you.
No problem. So for some of the new people here who aren't very familiar with affirmations, why are they even important for people to even start practicing?
Well, I think affirmations are important because we I think we don't really realize the thoughts that we have and how they might not be ones of our choosing. The first thing I'll ask people to do is to pause and think about what they're thinking about. So if you think about, like, when you wake up, what's the first thought that comes in your mind? And it's different for everybody, but for most of us, it's probably reflecting on what went wrong yesterday and how to maybe avoid it today. Or maybe it's something that went really well, but you might not feel as though you can recapture that type of joy again. We go on vacations and we're like, oh, I can't wait to, like, right now it's Christmas vacation. And some of us are like, woohoo, I got to party it up now because I'm not going to get that back, right?
Mm.
And then some of us are really sad about it because we don't think we're going to get it back, or we think we got to wait until next year to, like, recreate this type of joy. And affirmations, they help us to claim our destiny. They help us to, if we think about the word, it means to affirm, meaning to claim, to say this, like, if, imagine, like, that movie 300, and it's like, this is Sparta.
Yes.
So it's like doing that with your life and
Yeah.
recognizing, I'm gonna have a great day. So what can I do to make it that way? And they really are. I love this phrase. It's a your word is bond. And if you think about spells, and thanks for everybody in the comments. If you think about word, the idea of witchcraft, right? Now, I'm not saying everybody has a different idea, but I mean, like, let's take, like, our favorite Harry Potter idea, right? Like, I think it's important to be open-minded. I don't mean anything connected to something that's not helpful in the world, but this idea of, like, each one of us are a magician, right? The words we say cast spells, meaning, like, they set forth plans of motion. If you say you're going to McDonald's, well, boom, you're going to McDonald's. If you say that you're going to go to Smoothie King, I'm just throwing out names, like, you're going to go there. So, but you might have thoughts that get in the way of where you said you wanted to go. So therefore, if we keep affirmations at the like as a top priority, they become a boundary. They become a golden ticket to whatever brings us joy.
Yeah.
Because the more that we say these phrases or mantras, right, they help us to affirm what brings us joy and what brings us purpose, fulfillment. And I always say, this will be the last statement on it, that it's not about, some people say, well, you could be reckless if you're just doing it through joy. Well, it's up to you to make that decision. Like, you're not here to be reckless, you're here to be thoughtful and mindful, but you still need to put your joy and your self-care as a top priority, because you're able to pour into yourself, your family, and the world more when you affirm the type of person that you want to be, the type of life you want to live, and to acknowledge that you are at one stage now, but you have to see the unseen, hear the unheard, and know the unknown. Like, create your life from a blank easel. What is it that you want now?
I like that. That's actually, and how you were describing it too. Um, I was always curious, what's the difference between affirmation and manifestation? Because I've seen people kind of switch the words up. But yeah.
No, that's a great question. The way I see it, I've taken this study to be very, very seriously. And it's funny, the last part of my dissertation was about mindfulness. And I did work with Black adolescent girls in Baltimore City, which is where I'm from. And I worked with middle schoolers over 3 years, three different cohorts, to see, like, what made them resilient, right? Some people like that word, some people don't. But I recognized that these girls were practicing mindfulness without the label of mindfulness. But they were doing it as a group. So if we get to this idea of affirmations, they would say what they wanted, right? And they would say it to each other a lot. They would make songs up. They would make hand games about, like, what they wanted, or, like, those games where you, like, have to fold the paper and, like, push it open. It was
Yes.
husband you're gonna have.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, what kind of dream car, what's your job? Like, they would use their imagination to map out what they wanted. And some people would try to shoot their ideas down, some people wouldn't, but they were affirming who they were. But the question is, can we hold on to the belief that it's true? This is where manifestation gets tricky, because so often we're kind of going half in, half out. because we've been put down so often to say that's such an audacious dream. Like, that's not going to happen. What do you think? Like, money grows on trees? Yes, it does actually. But you have to imagine the tree. You have to plant the seeds to make that tree bloom into what it is and go out and grab your destiny. So affirmation versus manifestation. So affirmation is a statement. It can be one that you say it like internally in your mind, right? It can be one that you say out loud. It can be also one that you write down on the page or that you type, right? Or another strategy is to get your phone and record yourself saying it out loud. So now you have a video and an image of yourself as well. You can write these affirmations on your mirror with like a dry erase board marker. It will come off. Any way that the word, right? You know, that word. What are the words that we are saying to declare what we want? That's an affirmation. Now, a manifestation is or manifesting. Manifesting is a process which includes affirmations. It can include affirmations, and we would be smart to do so because we need to first figure out what is it that we want. There's a great person named Neville Goddard who spoke, I believe, I forgot the timeline, but I think it's like early 1940s or so, pretty early on in the in our history. And he was from Barbados, I believe, but immigrated to the United States. I don't remember the years, but his work, you can look him up. He's amazing. But he says this, as many other great manifestation scholars and speakers say, think about what it is that you want from the end. Like, what's the end game? You might not have a full clear picture, but if you imagine what it is that you actually want, right? And then why? Because we might say I want $1 million, which is fine, right? You might say you want $1 billion, which is great, sure. There's no limits on what you should want. But why? What's your intention behind the wanting? If you're wanting from a place of lack, meaning a sense of like, oh my God, like I can't believe I don't have my life together already. I'm 34. Like, God, like what's going on? If you take that tone, you see how my energy changed? I can feel it in my like soul, right? If we approach manifestation from lack, you will get the thing that you didn't want. Some people say that worry is like a prayer because your subconscious and conscious mind, right? They are emitting. Now, some people will disagree, but there are tons of scientific studies to show this. It's the concept of like we're emitting energy out. So like say you go, when you go in a room and the energy's off, it's like, ooh, I don't think I want to stay in this room. You can feel that signal, right? Whether you call it electromagnetic or not, you can feel the energy of a room. And we underestimate and devalue that energy that we feel for one another. Yet the beautiful thing is we shouldn't judge because people can fix their energy. They probably doing that because they don't know how. They say hurt people, right? And they want to, but we're not taught this stuff in school. Our parents often don't know. And even if we had parents who were religious, they might say, like I used to hear all the time from my family, like have faith of a mustard seed. Now I know that that is actually true, but the thing is you must sustain that faith of a mustard seed for your affirmations to work and for your manifestation to come true, because otherwise you'll get the exact opposite of what you really wanted, which was joy. While you're like, and this isn't meant to sound harsh, but like if we're asking for like a husband or a wife, yet we have doubt, it's sending a mixed signal. You're sending, I don't believe that the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence, we're sending mixed signals. We're saying we don't believe that we're worthy, for one, without us realizing it. Because if we believe we were worthy and we believed in infinite possibilities, we would believe that our affirmation could come true. Here's the trick. In order to manifest, you must become who it is you say you want to be now. Therefore, a great trick that I've learned is to say this, what you want, in present tense. So say you feel like you don't know how to manage money, which, once again, who taught us this stuff, right? You have to say and affirm it until you believe it, until you've retrained the subconscious mind that this is possible. I could get good at money. So instead of saying, man, like I can't, my money seems to be gone the moment I get it. Instead of that, it's okay. Acknowledge that you see your money is not being managed the way you would ideally want it to be. But then you got to shift that energy and shift that affirmation, that statement. So because your mind, your body is listening. If you tell your mind and your body that, and they are two separate things. That's what we first need to acknowledge. We are not our bodies. We are a higher self, yet we often operate. I'm not like, I'm gonna say at a lower self, that's no judgment, is that we're going with like on autopilot because our days are mapped out for us by someone else. So we don't have time to like tap in. So we have to make space for ourselves to get still and get quiet and just focus on the breath. Listen to what thoughts are coming, because now if you wake up and you look at your bank account, you need to say, instead of like, my money is gone, I'm horrible at this, you need to shift it and say, for yourself, acknowledge that subconscious, yes, my money is not the way I want. Now pause, get to what you want. I am a great, I am a money magnet. I am great with money. Every day I am learning how to better manage my money. Every day I am growing my skills. Every day I am doing what brings me joy to make money. Money will grow on trees because I'm growing my skills. Therefore, I'm going to get exactly what I want, right? So you see how you shift the problem and you look for a solution. And you have to do it to make sense. Like sometimes people might jump to like, I'm a billionaire, and that's good. You should keep that as like an affirmation off to the side. But I love the title of what you said, to ease into affirmations, because you have to retrain your subconscious mind in order for like that higher self. Like you come out of a yoga session or a workout and you like, yeah, like I'm in beast mode. But see, that's the beauty of this. You can crack and hack this code. You just pump yourself up with like adrenaline, right? So now you're feeling on this like high, like powerful, like the divine being you really are. Your inner being that wants you to thrive, the one that is divine, like the God in you is that. Therefore, you could say that you are God. And here's my example for this. You can look it up in any text. If you take a scoop of like say, like I live near a river. If I went and got a cup and I got a cup and I got to the lowest part where the sand meets the water, and I scooped water from that river, we would call that water that's in this cup water. We would make a label, a different label for it. Yet didn't I get it from the river? So God here is the river. You are the cup, the water in the cup. The cup can be the body, right? But that life source energy is the thing you put in the cup that you got from the river. That we say God is in us, right? Now the question is, are we gonna be more godlike? Are we gonna be more godly? That doesn't mean to be pompous and think you rule the world. It means that you are the creator and co-creator of your reality, that a universal force, whatever you want to call it, energy, whatever you want to call it, is in you. What are you going to do with that energy bottled up inside? How you could pour it into a new cup, right? With new energy, so that the cup that you don't like, the way your body looks, the way your income looks, the house, you can pour it, right? You can pour the energy in this cup into here and make it look like completely different and say like, oh snap, with a ginger man and be happy. So what I'm saying is it's a humble reverence for a universal intelligence that is within us. We have the power as conscious beings, right? As we are animals, but we're one of the most conscious that can change and reshape their reality on levels that the dolphin can't do. The dolphin is smart. The dolphin is intelligent, right? The ant is smart and intelligent and strong. Yeah, we have a gift that we're blessed to have. How are we going to use that energy? And by affirming what we want, we start to train our mind, our subconscious mind, the lower part, right? It's not bad. It's just there. It's like a antiquated, an old part of us, right? Mm-hmm. That is looking for like the tiger in the woods. It's trying to protect us, yet it's full of worry. And as we evolve as humans, we have the duty, if we want to be happy, to recognize that it's not our fault. It's not my mama's fault. It's not my grandmama's fault. Certain things happen in life. will we recognize them, acknowledge them, and forgive them? Because they didn't know either. So
Yeah.
no, what will you do with your energy? That's the question. You should affirm in the present tense because that tricks your mind like a VR, or like when you get lost in a movie, like you
Yeah.
start thinking with the characters in the room, right?
That's
And
true.
the more you meditate and visualize with your mind's eye, or look at pictures or reels that are positive about things that you would love seeing yourself doing, you can train your mind to see the thing that you really want to create and or manifest, meaning bring into your life.
Yeah.
And now you have to start picturing with your mind's eye, or people talk about the chakra system, thinking about the third eye, or you can call these chakras energy centers. I mean, you can just think whether how much you want to believe into different systems is totally up to you. But for me, as a person that loves learning, I like taking from different thoughts and spiritual forms and
Mhm.
seeing what works for me. So at first I was like, third eye, like, what are you talking about? Third eye, I don't see one. But the point isn't to see it, it's to use your mind to have a vision. Like when your intuition kicks in and says, hey, like you should go call that person because they have a connection that could lead you to this. To to me and to many other scholars, that's the God in us. That's that whisper that Oprah says that is saying what you need to do. In Christian Baptist traditions, there's a song called "Order My Steps with Your Word," and it's like if you listen to that intuition, it will tell you what to do next. But you have to get still to hear it. You have to like be in a flow state, like doing something you love, or in a shower, or like sitting down meditating. You can listen to a guided meditation, focus on your breath, or like your question about music. There's tons of music, whether it has a hip hop beat, a chill hop beat, a jazz beat at the back, meditation music at the back, binaural beats at the background. These songs, like our body responds to music. Here's a key way to think about it. You're in a movie theater or at your home and you put on a movie, right? Say the scene that's the mystery scene. What do? You go like, oh, what's about to happen? What's about to happen? Because the music just changed your
Yeah.
personality. You were triggered to know that something, and you've been trained throughout your life of seeing these type of movies that this sound means that somebody about to get killed,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
about to die. And so you've been trained that certain sounds mean certain things are coming. What if you can take music, which is what these affirmation songs do? They're like super positive, like empowering songs where the lyrics are those
Yeah.
affirmations, right? The words that lead your body and mind to where you want to be. And the sound backs up like empowerment, like, hey, it can feel like
Yeah.
you're in a club, it can feel like you're at home or working out, it can feel like you're like, wherever you want. YouTube is a great place to find these. I also have a I have like three of them now. You have free playlists on Spotify. You can look up Bloom Wellness Lab. I have a empowerment playlist. Nature. I have to look. I think I've created it like it's called like nature
Oh, okay.
therapy playlist, and a Believing Your Magic playlist. And I did one for kids too, and adults with like really good Disney songs that are actually empowering. So you could like play it in the car and both have fun and not feel like it's just for your kid, that are very empowering. And the last thing about these sounds, these you can type in binaural beats, um, and also look up. There's a documentary called Sound Magic, and like we said about movies, like when the mystery's coming up or the somebody's about to get killed, the sound triggers you. So there's certain sounds at certain frequencies that trigger more meditative states where you can actually like literally tap into your intuition more and really hear your thoughts, but retrain yourself to not feel uncomfortable while sitting still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'll pause the rant. I just like let it all come out.
No, no, that was perfect. Now, so let's see, we have about 4 minutes. Oh, there was somebody who was saying, oh yeah, Shari, she said, wow, this is right on time. So
Great.
similar to what I discussed in my therapy session today.
Nice.
So,
That's
so
awesome.
you just added someone's life. You probably already knew that, but in case you
No,
didn't, now you do.
yeah, I was so into it. I see people, glad people join. That's all.
Right. So there are two things that definitely want people to get out of this. So for the beginners, what are three tips you'd recommend to ease into affirmations or to start their affirmation journey? And then for the regulars, the affirmation pros, how can they level up?
Those are great questions. I love that. Yeah. Oh, those are great questions. Okay, so okay, for the beginners, trust yourself. It's gonna seem really weird first. You're gonna think you look crazy. Don't worry about how you think you look. You are healing yourself. You are literally like we talk about evolution all the time, but this is like no joke. You will be like amazed at what you can accomplish and do and feel like, we ask each other how we feel. Like we're like, or we say, how are you walking by? But we don't really listen for the answer. And if we really ask people how we feeling today and listen, we could learn that we could shift that energy and bring our best energy to every room. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You have you're not going, if you're hungry and you go into your kitchen at night, and I'm not saying eat at night, not the best time, but if you're hungry and it's dark in your kitchen, you even if you know where everything is, I bet but you would make the process. Here we go. You could know where everything is in your kitchen in the dark, but you would optimize your process and make it more efficient if you turn the light on. Mm-hmm. So if you turn the light on in your life, meaning look for the bright side of things, and it's not like you're faking yourself out. You need to acknowledge the things that aren't going the way you want them to go, but then you need to redirect your focus like real quick. You don't have time to like play victim. You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. You need to acknowledge it and say, I understand this happened. I forgive those who see, that's a trick too. We say somebody hurt me. This is going to sound real rough to some people, but you actually didn't realize it. It's not your fault. It's not any of our faults. It wasn't my fault either. But no, you allowed them to make you feel a certain way. But because you didn't have the training to know how to guard yourself and protect your energy, and that's not your fault. So when I say it's your fault, I'm not blaming someone for like feeling hurt. I'm saying that with this type of mindfulness training, you can understand that you can build up such a deep sense of self that no one can penetrate your spirit. I won't even say armor, because like it's not that you're metallic and like robotic. You feel it, but you then go to, I understand why they said that. They don't know themselves, so of course they upset at me or whatever it is, right? But you also don't judge them, because now you're judging yourself. Yeah. So let me lean it back a little bit. For beginners, top 3 tips is first, gratitude. The one thing, and this is like for those that are more scientifically inclined, this is great because you can do the search yourself. There are tons of studies like from Berkeley, from Stanford, Johns Hopkins, Harvard. It's like real. Like this isn't, well, the people who are here, they're going to know that anyway. I don't need to explain. My point is, it's seen as one of the most amazing things, because even if you're having the worst day or what you think of as the worst year, the next logical thing to hack your mind and your body and spirit is to think about the one thing that you're grateful for. You got one. Like maybe it's your electricity is on, right? Maybe it's that you have heat in like negative number wind chill temperatures. Maybe it's that you got one smile today from somebody in the market. I don't care what that is. Maybe it's that your floor is clean today. I don't care. Like that you were able to drink clean water, or at least relatively clean, that won't kill you, right? So whatever it is, look for gratitude, number 1. Number 2, now think about like what's the next. Okay, number 2 is, who am I and who do I want to be? Who am I and who do I want to be? Because the best affirmation you can ever do is this idea of I am. I am, the I am. So you can Google this. You can go, and thanks for all the comments, you guys. I love that. Yes.
Right. They're loving it.
Yeah, so awesome. So I am. You can go on YouTube. I want to make these soon, but I haven't had time. I will. But these I am meditations. Just type in I am meditations, because they help you realize, like, who are you? Not your profession, right? Like, what type of person are you? And if you think you haven't done the best thing so far, to not judge yourself. That's the trick, to really think about who it is that you want to be. And so you have to say, don't say like, I am a liar. Maybe you did lie, but you have to shift that energy to say, I am trustworthy. I am reliable. Because you have to act like you have a VR headset on and you're seeing the thing that you want. Not out of lack, but out of empowerment. So like you change it, you affirm, you know what? I did lie. And I did it for a long time. But I'm changing that right now. That's where you get to rebirth yourself, right? For those that are religious in the Christian mindset, for me, Easter, the best thing from it is that you get to rebirth yourself. You're supposed to learn from these people, like whether it's the Buddha or Jesus or Abraham. Like, you need to pick your person and like remodel yourself. That's the message. So first, gratitude. Second is the I am. Who are you affirming yourself to be? You might not know. So look to somebody that you respect and see what qualities they have that you respect. And then that can lead you to affirm at least one quality, that you are trustworthy, or you're reliable, or you are loving, or you are kind. And then you can evolve those affirmations. And then you have to match it. You have to meet that ask that you're asking the universe for halfway. So you have to say, like, if you're not sure if you're going to lie again, the moment you feel yourself about to lie, probably because you're hiding, you may be scared. You're not a bad person, right? You're probably scared about something. So you have to feel your feelings and your thoughts and say, like, all right, I did lie, but this time I'm going to change that. I'm going to own up to it. I'm going to tell the person the truth. And I'm going to that's you meeting the universe halfway. And the more you practice that, you literally, this is the neuroscience, you literally build new neural connections, because you teach yourself that you can trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody else, and you'll probably feel the need to lie to protect yourself, right? So it's really a self-discovery process. So the last part is that retraining your mind, body, and spirit. You have to put yourself around people, places, beautiful and affirming and empowering people, places, things, and ideas in your mind. And even if your house is like not the way you want, you have to visualize what it would be like, not judge yourself, because when you judge yourself, you release the cortisol hormone, right, which is a stress hormone, and it blocks the part of your your brain that allows you to be creative. Therefore, you need creativity and imagination. Not right now. That wouldn't be helpful. You can find some strawberries if you like. Thank you, Zoe. Good job. Dr. Drea said, hey. Just said, hey. And yeah, putting yourself in the environments or mental environments, looking at magazines or pictures or reels that are positive. Because if you don't, like, everything you take in is food. So every video you listen to, every music lyric you listen to, it's training you about what type of person you want to be. So you can't be like listening to things about, and this is not judging. Drama. It's just, look, so we said drama and stuff like that.
Yes.
You can't, because the beat. So what I do is a substitute. I might find it's okay, baby. I might find the genre of music. Like, for instance, we like Christmas music, but I love, just being honest, the trap music beats is amazing. But I look for the ones, like songs, like we listen to Christmas trap music sometimes. Well, I don't like that one anyway. But well, that's your opinion, Zoe. She has an opinion about things, and that's okay. But my point is that, and I'll end this soon. I'm sorry, I know we're going over.
Oh, of course.
That thank you. If you like the genre of trap, right? But look, somebody wrote factuals. So if you like that genre, but you know you need to not be listening to like really violent lyrics, because those lyrics, like, your body is taking them in. Like, it got mold on it. Was it? Sorry, but I'm doing an interview right now. Okay. I'm sorry, baby, but just don't eat the ones that are bad. Great job. So what I'm saying is that what you determine what you feed yourself. So it's like healthy food. You might have a favorite, like Red Lobsters, like those cheddar biscuits at Red Lobsters.
Are good.
You know how you feel after you eat them. So you have to Google the health. Like you can literally Google healthy alternative to Red Lobster's cheddar biscuit. So now the ingredients that you put in are different. And oh, thank you. Yes, dental parenting all the way. You gotta parent them as you would want yourself to be parented. You don't want to be yelled at. So why am I gonna yell at her? Anyway, you gotta find the alternative. So like we Google Christmas trap because I know like I'm ready to like rock it out to the music, but I'm not gonna listen to like the same songs that I used to. I used to say, oh, well, that's not about me, so I don't like it's not referring to me. But
Are you squinting?
A little bit, but not too much. It's because somebody.
I know where your glasses are.
You know where my glasses are? Okay, but I don't think I'll need them now. But thank you though. She's taking care of me all the time.
Oh.
So that looks really good, Zoe. Good job. So these alternatives. So you can listen to the Christmas trap, but only the ones with the positive beats. That's like the same song, but they just like layer it with a beat. So now it's removed from like the original song. Mhm. Yeah, instrumental. They.
Ooh, what's she saying? She done been gems too. What's she saying?
Do you want to come say it?
No, I'm good.
Okay. She's to her. She said I can say it, so I'll repeat it. So she said, because that's what we do sometimes. Like, if we're in the car, and like say there's a song with an interesting beat, but she doesn't know the lyrics yet, and I don't like. I'm open with her. Like that's not really helpful. I don't call it a bad song. I don't call it a good song. I say it's not helpful. It doesn't meet our family's goals, nor does it meet the goals you said you have for yourself. We're not going to listen to that one. And when I explained it like that without yelling at her, like she doesn't know, she hasn't heard it, but I have sometimes, or sometimes I haven't heard the song yet, but then we're listening. And because we constantly had this conversation.
I actually heard a song that you didn't.
Yeah.
Like that time I said, I want to die.
Yeah. So you want me to tell them what you said?
Yeah, you tell.
Okay. So Zoe's cutting some strawberries. So she said I can tell. So she said there was one time we were in the car, and I think it must have been a radio or a playlist that we hadn't like. That's why we cultivated these playlists, because if you just listen to the radio, you're gonna get any old thing. So creating like these playlists for yourself or looking for them on YouTube or Spotify is really important, because if you just like if you say you need to go to like Whole Foods or Aldi or the market, right? Or Juice World. That's what somebody wrote. If you need to go to these places, right, you can't just type in Baltimore. So if you just turn on the radio, you're going to get what they give you, right? If you just listen to, like, watching cable, you're going to get what they give you. So we live in an evolved society now where we can choose what we want, and it's going to be on us. That's that meeting the universe halfway. You say you want to be positive, so are you going to type in keywords that can help you get what you want? If you don't, then you're not going to get it. So you have to like really cultivate your life and curate it to match the person that you say you want. And let me see, somebody said that's the artist for the song. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll look it up. Yeah, so like it's like no judgment. It's just you have to like face yourself and be like, what do I really want? And if you want to hear the song you used to like, just acknowledge that you do. Don't judge yourself. It's like eating a piece of cake. Sometimes you might feel like you need that piece of cake, but like we call things like that sometimes foods. So we know like there's sometimes foods, and then there's some never foods. Like go ahead.
Soda.
Like soda, right? Like what am I getting?
Donut.
Donuts. Yeah, like I'm not gonna get anything out of it. But somebody's donut might be somebody's cake. So you have to just choose and be aware what your limit is, what your body needs, so it doesn't feel like it's being she said, so it doesn't feel like it's being crap. Yeah. So you want to realize that everything you take in is a process of consumption.
Yeah.
So the music, the videos, the news.
Yep.
I do
Yep.
the news. I read headlines. I used to want to be a journalist. But now what my aim is to create media and education that helps people to see wide perspectives of reality and learn that they can create their own. Okay, now I need to answer your question about the advanced. Sorry.
Do you have time?
I do have time only because Zoe's still cutting her strawberries.
Okay. I just want to
After
respect
she's
that.
done cutting her strawberries, I'll pause.
Okay.
Okay, so
So how can
so I'll just recap the A, B, C for easing in, and then I'll go straight to the. No problem. Okay, so for beginners, the first thing was gratitude. Find the thing that you're grateful for and focus on it until it feels like, that's true, right? It feels that it's true. It feels like you're not just making it up to say you're grateful for it. Like, it has to be something that you actually like are grateful for.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Zoe. Oh, that's so sweet of you. She's the best. She's the best. Thank you, Zoe. I'm grateful for you as well. Really am. And so after you have to really be real with yourself. That's why this process is hard. It's easy to lie to ourselves, and it's just because of fear. Yeah, Zoe, by accident. Like we often make excuses for ourselves, and that's a protective measure. We shouldn't judge. It's silly. We shouldn't we shouldn't judge ourselves for the things we've done. We should just fix them. Oh, you got it. You got it. Don't worry. There you go. Good job. Wait, curve it. Wait, curve it. I'm not worried. I'm just trying to give a suggestion. Good job. Good job, Zoe. Okay. Strawberries had an avalanche a little bit. It's okay. We got most of them in.
you didn't judge yourself? She fixed it.
Yeah, that's gotta change you, man. It's crazy. You literally can work magic with your words and your. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fixed it. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go to. Okay, so it was gratitude. It was. Wait.
It's like where you are now and who you want to be.
Right. Yeah. Who are you, and who do you want to be, and focusing on those I am affirmations, and focusing not on the thing that you feel like you're not. And focusing on what you want, like with a good feeling, not out of lack. Because if you say it out of lack, you're not going to get the thing you want. The third thing was putting yourself around like beautiful, inspiring people, places, things, and cultivating time to make a mindfulness practice, including meditation, yoga, exercise, dance, whatever brings you joy. But yes, handstands. But don't get it twisted. You can say, oh, I don't like meditating. I'm going to tell you, and Zoe has experienced that herself.
I'm fine, I'll admit it.
See, she said fine, she admits it. You can sit there and do something meditative like art, dance, music, all you want. But if you don't really get still and let yourself hear the thoughts that are coming in your mind, and then like mentally rehearse, like, oh yeah, that's another thing, type in mental rehearsal. If you don't mentally rehearse how you want to feel, you will not shift your energy to a vibration that is elevated, like an elevated emotion. It's something called heart rate variability, and heart, I'll tell you later. And heart, I'm just learning this stuff. Heart, it's like heart and brain coherence. It's like the two are mixed together. And you need to, so it's the brain and the heart. Just that's all you need to know. You need all the medical terms. Heart and the brain need to match energy. They need to be aligned, right?
And to do that, you can have peaceful people.
Yes.
Peaceful things that you do.
Yes. Zoe said in order to do that, you have to have peaceful people and around the peaceful things that you do. And they can be peaceful, or they can be like a elevated endorphin experience, but they need to bring you a sense of joy and fulfillment and calm, and not drama and stress, right? Yes, thanks for the claps. Yes. And so now for advanced level.
Yes.
It's so much.
You got all the gems.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No,
Thank
give
you.
it all. Give it all. Give it all.
Zoe. Thank you, Zoe. Okay, so advanced level, and then we'll stop.
Yes.
Yes, I can. Okay. Advanced level is, I choose as the first thing. You need to get your vibration together, because now you know what it is. You can tell when your energy isn't the way you want, and you believe that you should forgive yourself. You believe that you're worthy, but you have to remember that now you know all this information, but then there's a difference between learning it and practicing it and embodying it. So you need to learn it, listen to as many content, YouTube videos, books that you can, audiobooks that you can. You need to like eat it like food. Whenever you have a break, you need to be listening to it. You need to listen to different types of people. You need to write it, type it. You make a video about it for yourself on your phone. Look in the mirror, tell yourself these things, these affirmations, because at the beginning, your brain. So there's something called neuroplasticity. You can look it up. Neuroplasticity is the idea that the brain is like elastic, basically, right? Like you're welcome. You can, and I'll be there soon, Zoe. Great job. That you can, the remote. Oh, did you give it to me? Sorry, everybody.
Oh no, you're good.
I got it.
Great job. So you can. It's basically you can teach an old dog new tricks. Great job, Zoe. Meaning
I agree.
that you're like and the dog here is us and a real dog, and it's not about old, but it's this idea that as we get older we don't want to learn. We have to embody a growth mindset and be constant, like lifelong learners, because if we just say, well, I am the way I am, you won't get what you want because you're like locking yourself to one identity. So you need to say, like, admit and acknowledge the things that you would want to change. But the key is you can't judge yourself. That's the hard part. You have to see it like with Zoe. There'll be things developmentally that she would do at certain ages. Like I remember the first time that I think like she kicked me or something or bit me. Mothers could probably relate. I'd be like, yeah, you will stay there. I was shocked because I was so confused. Like, I'll take care of you every day and I love you and you love me, but you just bit me. And she's like 2 or I don't know, maybe 2 or 1.5. And I remember feeling shocked, confused, and scared and upset at the same time. My primal state came out and it wanted to, like, out of defense, because it never happened at that time. It made me want to like hit her back. And I was like, and I felt that feeling because like it was like, so then you realize like who is the you, because that primal feeling, it took over. Like, well, it didn't take over because I didn't follow through on the hit, but I had to stop myself from doing it as any parent would, because it was literally a defense response. Like if somebody hit you and you're not expecting it, you move back and you ready to defend. But because I had done enough mindfulness training, I was able to not do well. And when I say that, it's not like some official like place that I mean, I did do official later with yoga training, but this is just like being aware of what you want to do. So my point is that when we listen to those feelings, hear them, experience them, forgive them, I had to like recognize, well, of course I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hit my child. But I had to acknowledge the feeling because I recognized that she had a developmental shift and I was having a developmental shift that was intersecting, and neither one of us experienced it before, but we had to think about, what do I want to come from it? I want peace. I want harmony. I want no violence. Well, actually, you shouldn't even say that. You shouldn't. In these affirmations, you don't want to focus on the thing you don't want. So you have to focus on what it is you want, but in the background, like first acknowledge the thing that you don't, but then push it over to the side. And then, because if you just say all the positive stuff, you haven't trained your subconscious mind to know that it's not in control. That's where sometimes people, like if you listen to different manifestation speakers, the person I love the most, the 2 people that helped me see the whole picture of how to train my subconscious and conscious mind, the subconscious, like the monkey mind, was Dr. Joe Dispenza, and then also Abraham Hicks. And there's tons of, several others. Like, oh my God, Lisa Nichols. So many. But those 2, like they really help you to understand the science behind it and the spirituality and the practicality. Okay, let me pause for a second. So the 3 tips: learn it, eat it, and breathe it. Breathe it like air, eat it like food, drink it like water. Number 2 is you need to create practices and rituals and experiment with them, which is why we're called Bloom Wellness Lab. you're not going to get your flow right the first time, second, the third, the fourth, the 30th, but you'll get closer and closer every day. There's a concept in Japan and the world, but it's a Japanese origin called, I believe, Ikigai. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay.
But the idea is that you make small improvements every day, and they'll have big payoffs. So learn it, practice it, embody it. Because that last one is the embodiment. It's like a part of you. It's like I saw you on your handstand journey. Didn't you feel like your core was a different body part when you were able to do it? It was like some other being and glued itself and immersed itself into your new core.
Exactly.
But you probably visualize yourself getting that thing done. You practiced it, and then your body, it merged with the reality that you believed in your mind's eye at first, correct?
Yeah.
I finally got a handstand, maybe like, it took me about 15 days of committed, practice, and then it happened. But I made that handstand my screensaver. I made it everywhere. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not just about like the picture. It's about, or like doing it for like, even though it's fun to share on Instagram and other places, but it was for me. I knew that's, and so I should say my coaching program, it's called Intentionally Align. So it's the idea that if I can get my body, and you don't have to do a handstand, just to be clear. I just wanted to. It could be other things. But the idea is to get yourself intentional. Be intentional about the life you want to create, but you need to align yourself with your hopes and dreams, meaning that you need to learn about yourself. It's a self-discovery practice. You need to practice rituals that help you to be that person now in small ways that feel realistic to you. And then you have to go beyond realism because you have to use your imagination to focus more on the person you want to be and have a feeling of excitement and desire. The best example for all this, and I think I can end it here, is that when you go to a restaurant that you know was good and you ordered there before, you you put the order into the waiter. Here, the waiter is God, and we can't forget that God like presence is in us too. That life force energy. So you need to tap into that intuition. The only way to do that is to get still. You have to put your order in, just like you do to a restaurant that you know is good. If you feel like the universe is good, that the universe can have your back if you meet it halfway, no matter what you've gone to, you might need to forgive the universe. And guess what? That's you forgiving yourself and the other people around you. Because that same universal presence is in them too. Yet, if we don't know it, we're going around unconscious, acting like hyenas battling it out. So, of course, people would have treated you not well because there's the potential to do that in the universe when one doesn't know about their mind, their body, and their spirit and how to be in control. So, this mindfulness practice helps us to evolve literally beyond just a statement of evolution because we get to understand that you can't put things on Google Calendar to meet your desire until you've thought about what it is you wanted.
Yeah.
And not what you've been told you should do. How are you using your energy throughout the day? For who? For what purpose? That intention. The last part, I'm sorry, it was the restaurant example. If you know the restaurant's good, the restaurant's a universe. You can say the universe is good. It has the potential to be good. Put the order, it has the potential to be good. Put the order in with the same faith that you do your favorite restaurant, that thing is about to be delicious. But if you didn't go to the restaurant that you like and that you know has good ratings or you have faith in and put yourself in that environment, you won't meet the universe halfway and you can't get your order to come back on the table. So you have to go to the places, be around the things, the ideas that are what you have faith in, the potential you see in yourself. And with you keep meeting the universe halfway, do what you have to do, be and speak positively, affirm the greatness. You can't do anything but get back what you want. With time, we don't know how long that's going to be, right? That could be a day, a second. It could be 10 years. but it's probably only going to be 10 years because you keep going back and forth on your doubt.
Yeah.
And that's no judgment. It's just practice. That's why meditation, it helps you to understand your thoughts and what's actually coming in, because the thoughts, they vibrate out. So if your energy is like low, you have a lot of doubt, don't judge yourself. But be like, dang, I'm not motivated. I don't feel like I believe in myself. So now you got to go to the next logical step. What does bring you joy? What does bring you gratitude? Write it down. Say, you know what? I'm going to focus on just that. I'm not going to try to figure out my whole life, just one thing. And go from there. And if you get still, you'll hear the next order of steps to do. That's it.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And we got
Yeah.
even more. So I appreciate you. And tell Zoe that we're thankful for her patience
No,
as
it's been awesome. My whole family actually stepped in there, like
oh,
with her right now. So
hey,
yeah, it
Dr.
was really
Stephanie.
nice. Yeah, it was really nice of them. So everything worked out, and I'm really grateful for all the people that came and left comments. And I'm definitely gonna look at them again. I'm sorry, I didn't look at them as I was
Oh, no
going.
worries. I was keeping an eye. We asked a question, and then and then there's a lot of cheering you on and being like point facts,
Thank
all
you.
of that.
Yeah, see, I really appreciate everybody. So yeah, you can find more about me on my page, Dr. Stephanie Akumani, or Bloom Wellness Lab. You can find us on YouTube for some meditations and affirmations there.
Yeah.
And our website has a blog. And our podcast. It's called Agility and Bloom. And I'll write that in the comments. People can look it up on any platform, and it has tons of this from great guests. And I should probably write podcast, but they'll find it. Yeah, but thank you so much for this. This is a great practice for me too, because I'm realizing that my purpose, one of my purposes, is to like really make very complex scientific information digestible and practical so people can actually put it to work, because that's the only way that like we're gonna make that change, by like doing the work, like be a hearer and a doer, rest and take action. If we don't mix the two, we're not going to get the vibration we need, and we're not going to get what we want. Yeah. And thank you for all the work you do. I love watching your posts, and you have really great energy, and what you're doing is really important for the world. So thank you for reaching out, and you've been an amazing, just positive force in this area, and I'm sure the world. And I appreciate you. So thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Stephanie. Okay, I was expecting compliments, but I appreciate it. But you go ahead, be an awesome
Thank you.
mom. But we will be in touch, and I can't wait to see more of what Bloom Wellness Lab and Dr. Stephanie has in store.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody.
Bye, Wellness fam. Have a great evening.
All right, bye. Have a good day.